Remember, this is all done just as a filtering process so that you don't have to spend hours and hours trying to identify the other issues you need to look at in a medical malpractice case. So now, if there's a wrongful death matter happen in a municipal hospital, you do not get the 2-year benefit. Maximum is still only 1 year and 90 days. Let's talk about cases involving babies. In cases involving improper delivery that occurs at birth, anybody here know how much time you have in New York to file suit for a brain-damaged baby? In New York, you have 10 years from the date of birth within which to file a lawsuit against a private doctor and private hospital. Now, what happens again if this incident happened in a municipal hospital? Do you get the benefit? Well, the short answer is no. You still have that limited time requirement. But again, as always, there are exceptions. And I'm not going to delve into the detailed exceptions here. I also want to bring up 2 other types of cases that may arise that you may learn about during your discussions with your potential clients. Cases involved against the state of New York, as well as cases against the Veterans Administration. Those are 2 separate entities that have their own quirky requirements, both of which require claims to be filed, and then a period of time later require you to file a lawsuit, but you have to give them a period of time in which to investigate. So again, I just raised that to give you an idea that those are separate and have their own complex time frames, and I'm not going to really go into that here right now. Now, let me throw in a couple of other wrenches, because this happens all the time. Anybody here familiar with the term foreign objects? And I'm not talking about aliens. I'm talking about things that are left inside your body during the course of a procedure or during the course of surgery. Things that should not be left there. How much time, anybody here know how much time you have in which to file a lawsuit for medical malpractice when there is a foreign object left inside your body? Shout it out if you know. Anybody? Okay. In order to evaluate how much time you have to answer 2 questions. The first question is, was this object that was left inside of you something that was intended to remain inside of you? This is a very important question for the purposes of determining whether or not you are timely in a foreign object case. If the matter was not intended to be left inside of you, then the injured victim has 1 year from the date of discovering that object within which to bring a lawsuit. And I should add 1 word to that. They have 1 year from reasonably discovering that object, or when they should have reasonably discovered that object, within which to bring a lawsuit. So let me put that in context. Let's say you have a hernia repair, and during the course of closing up the procedure, the doctor is sewing you up, and the tip of the needle breaks off. It can happen. And the doctor, while he's doing it, it just breaks off, and he's searching for it in the area where you're doing the surgery, and for whatever reason, he can't find that tip of the needle. He's looking, he's spending time, he gets a magnet, they can't find it, they can't identify it, and finally the doctor says, you know what? Nothing's going to happen to this patient. I'm not even going to bother to tell her about it. It's going to be fine. Okay, what do you think happens? It's the foreshadowing, you know what's going to happen. 3 years later, the patient winds up having massive back pain, goes to her doctor, who sends her for x-rays, and the doctor tells her, Eureka! Here's your problem. You've got a needle sticking in your back. She said, a needle? How do I have a needle in my back? I had surgery 3 years ago for a hernia. They get the operative report from the original surgery, and the doctor clearly put in there, tip of the needle broke off, made efforts to try and find it, couldn't find it, didn't think it would be a problem, have a nice day. So now she has to have surgery to get this needle removed. And now she comes to you and says, can I bring a lawsuit? Am I timely? Well, let's answer that original question. Was this needle tip something that was designed to be left inside of her body as part of the hernia repair surgery? The answer is no. Okay? It was designed to be used for the surgery, but not to be left inside. And as a result of that, she would then only have 1 year from the date of discovering that within which to bring a lawsuit.